Hiking has gained in popularity the past couple of years, and the interest for experiencing nature has never been greater. You see it on commercials on TV, in papers, and internet is filled with happy people standing on a mountain with a big backpack gazing over an amazing landscape. Now, even how beautiful it may seem, it is all a lie. Well, maybe not all a lie, but today is all about the lies they feed you with. Everything from the pure basics to the gear choices and what to wear. So stay tuned for the biggest lies in the outdoor community, and let's talk about the truth instead. In the commercials, it is all about the beautiful views and an effortless experience, and people dressed in colorful outdoor clothes, and every time with a big smiling happy face. Haven't we all seen those pictures? The only time I feel that way is when starting and finishing a hike. And this is how I look after a couple of days on the trail. Not the same. Anyways, these commercials are mainly focused on beginners and those new to hiking, and maybe they are not all lies, but at least they're not giving you the whole truth and gives you the wrong idea what's needed to actually go out there. So in a way, they are lies. Without further ado, here are the 5 biggest lies they feed you with, starting with the backpack. That you need a big backpack is a lie. You don't need an 80 to 100 liter backpack to experience nature. Not even for the longer trips. And most of the time a 50 to 70 liter is more than enough, or less, if sharing some equipment or going ultralight. I will not dig into ultralight hiking today because not everyone is interested in lighter gear. But one can nothing but be amazed by all the big, and I mean really big, backpacks often shown in the pictures and sometimes seen on the trail. For hikers mainly doing day hikes, you need only a small pack for rain clothes, water and some food. If you then expand your hikes to go further with more confidence and introduce new gear like tents and sleep systems, then of course you need a bigger pack. But when introducing new gear and before you buy anything, compare the bulk, the weight and bring only the essentials. No reason using a 4-season tent for 3-season hiking, a sleeping bag and pad for winter time when it is warmer, and no reason bringing a cook set for the whole family if only cooking for yourself. Just a few things to keep in mind that will reduce the weight and the bulk. A too big and heavy backpack can really destroy your hiking experience, so be careful what you bring and the choice of backpack. And you will end up with a smaller and lighter pack with a chance of a better hiking experience and less risk of injuries. And finally, buy all of the other gear first and then a backpack to fit all of your gear. Choosing a 1-person tent for 1, a 2-person tent for 2, and so on, it's a lie. Always choose a bigger tent than the number of persons who will sleep in it. I would go as far as saying 1-person tents are just not an option and will ruin your first impression of hiking. This is true, and you will just be cramped up with no space and feel claustrophobic, to say the least. So for 1 person, go for a small 2-person tent like the big Agnes Copper Spur 2-person or the Hilleberg Niak, or maybe an X-Mid 2-person tent instead, just to mention a few having the luxury of being very spacious and not very heavy. Perfect for one hiker seeking some space for higher comfort and a better hiking experience. You will then have room for you and your gear inside the tent, but still keep the weight down to a reasonable number and less bulk, not to take up too much space in your backpack. 1-person tents are only for those that deliberately seeking a low weight and less bulk, and that are prepared to sacrifice space doing so. You will thank me later, that's a promise. Our third lie for today is pants, and maybe also clothes in general, because I see colorful rugged pants on the trail and in the commercials and on Insta, and I'm like, why? We are not bushwhacking here or bushcrafting or surviving, but we are on the trail, so the clothes should be chosen based on the need of coping with the elements. If it is hot, you need clothes that breathes. If it is wet, clothes to keep you dry. And if cold, then clothes to keep you warm. And sometimes it is both wet and warm, and well, you get the picture. And then to dress in these thicker, more rugged clothes, I believe to be a bad idea for a couple of reasons. First of all, they don't breathe very well, at least not most of them. A thin pair of pants and a fleece and a wind jacket will do the job much better than thicker pants and a soft shell jacket. You will get rid of the sweat that you build up much easier. Secondly, they don't dry very fast, so if they get wet, they will stay wet. Just take a water crossing as an example, where me and a lot of other hikers using trail runners, we don't take the shoes off to do water crossings, so the pants will get soaked, and Even if you take your shoes or boots off, well, you either need to take the pants off or roll them up quite high for them not to get wet. Another situation is of course rain, and I believe I'm not the only one that often hopes for better weather and sometimes put on my rain pants a little bit too late. Choose quick drying pants and thin layers for better comfort on the trail. And bring warmer clothes for the nights and evenings or for longer breaks, like a puffy if a bit chilly, and always of course bring a base layer. I've been using these pants for, I don't know, 4 to 5 years now, and on all my hikes and a lot also in my everyday life. And no holes or wear at all, and very thin, breathable and quick drying. So they don't need to be thicker to last a very long time, and I promise you, no need for rugged pants and clothes for hiking, and look for functionality and comfort instead. And I'm talking about 3-season hiking here, not wintertime. That's another story completely. Boots and boots everywhere, and often recommended as the preferred choice. And as soon as you step into your outdoor store, you're facing a wall with boots, high and low. And boots are for many synonymous with hiking. And this is a lie, in my opinion at least, and I know a lot of you will be mad for me saying this, but I have nothing against boots. But your shoes, just like your clothes, should be based on the need, and I believe them not to be the perfect choice many times for a couple of reasons. First of all, boots are heavy, and it is often said that 1 kilo on your feet is like 5 kilo on your back. And most of us can testify to that walking in a pair of boots drains more energy than walking in a pair of trail runners. Secondly, you will have better contact to the ground, and feeling the ground underneath your feet is an advantage in my opinion, with less risk of injuries. The third and final reason for not using boots is comfort. Using a pair of trail runners or hiking shoes will give you better comfort and happier feet by the end of the day. Now, I know that some people need the added support of a boot because of weak ankles, and some prefer boots. But as the default choice, I believe that should be a lie. And I think that most people would enjoy hiking more if they changed to lighter and more comfortable shoes. Our final lie for today, and lie number 5, is gear related. And I don't know what you think, but I believe that you don't need all of this fancy expensive gear to enjoy hiking and to get a good hiking experience, even if I do own a lot of them myself. You can use whatever you have at home, borrow or rent the rest, and it is quite easy now to find used hiking gear at half the price compared to in the stores. And there is a lot of Facebook groups focused on selling used outdoor equipment. And I will also put links down to some of my favorite budget gear down in the description. I haven't tried them all myself, but they are famous for being the best bang for the buck and proven many times over. For using one of the most famous cliches, hike your own hike. Now I hope you have enjoyed today's episode about the lies they feed you, and that I could deliver what I promised in the thumbnail. If not, or if you have anything to add, just leave a comment and I will come back to you as soon as I can. Now, if you like this episode, take a look at these recommendations on my other videos, and I hope to see you again next week. But for now, take care, safe hiking, and bye bye.